Hi everyone, I'm Cody, W3AMG with Bridgecom Systems. Hope you all are doing well. In today's live stream, we're going to be showing you how to take your AnyTone radio from scratch and program it without using a computer. We get asked this question all the time, and in fact, at the show, at Hamcation, we had a lot of people come up and had the question of, hey, how do I add the repeater in? I don't have my computer on me. And so we helped them there on the spot as much as we could, although it was really busy. But I want to show you all who maybe haven't had the opportunity to learn that, how it's done, and some things to watch out for along the way. So before we get into it, a couple quick announcements. First of all, I want to thank all of you who came by the booth at Hamcation. It was great to meet all of you folks. Met a lot of photos, a lot of people, and even had some people want to take photos with me. So kind of a neat experience there. I want to thank you all for stopping by. Had a great time at Hamcation. Beautiful weather down there too. So we're back up in the, it's actually warm today in Missouri. So let's do some shout outs real quick. Who do we have in the house today? Jim, KE8TEZ. Bill, KK4PAL. Good morning, Bill. We have John, W5PSX. Bill, KC3RMV. Tom, K7RIL. Rodney, WG4USA. Wen, W6WHB. Eric, KE6EDG. Kenny, KG5KS. Sam, WS4BSA. I remember meeting you. That was awesome. Thanks for stopping by, Sam. Tom, KJ7RIL. Awesome. A lot of people in the house. Scrolling through a bit too fast for me to get all of them. Barry, K9FMB. Awesome. Lots of folks in the house today. Thank you for everyone who showed up and who stopped by at the Hamcation show. So let's get into it. Before we start, we're doing a couple of really cool things on the stream. We're giving away 1 year free subscription to Bridgecom Plus. So Bridgecom Plus, what it does is it gives you special access, exclusive access to giveaways, to sales that no one else has access to. It gets you a group, a community where you can bounce ideas off of each other and questions about your radio, only exclusive to Bridgecom Plus members. And then it also gets you access to the entire Bridgecom University library completely for free while you have that subscription. So we're giving away 1 year free of that today on the show, worth over $100. And then we're also doing a giveaway just for Bridgecom Plus members during this show. We'll be giving away a brand new AnyTone 878 UV2 Plus. So make sure you sign up for those while it's going on. The links are all around the video. Make sure you get signed up for that. And you do have to be present to win. So stick around till the end and we will announce the winners. So let's get into it. I've got my radio here. The first thing we need to do is find out what repeater we want to connect to. So in my case, I need to have a look at my local area. Now, a couple ways to do that. What I like to do is go to repeaterbook.com. It's a great resource. You can find the local repeaters there. Now, if you don't have access to that, a computer or internet, what you can do is actually just ask around at your local club or any of your buddies in the ham radio. They will probably have that information. But in this case, we're going to use a computer here. So I'm going to go to repeaterbook.com. Oops. Repeaterbook.com. Here we go. Give that a second here. And the information we're going to be looking for is a receive and transmit frequency. Those are also going to be known as the uplink and downlink frequency. And then we'll either get, if it's an analog repeater, we're going to be looking for PL tones or CTCSS tones, something like that. Or if it's digital, you're going to be looking for color code and time slot. Now time slot, they may have some information on what talk groups to use for what time slot. Let's see here. See if we can get this to pull up, repeaterbook.com. Let's see if any website's working. Make sure we have internet access. Oop. see. Looks like I'm having some internet troubles here. Oh no. Well, repeaterbook.com is a great resource. If that pulls up, we'll use it. If not, we're just going to continue on as if we had the information. So I luckily already have written down that information from repeaterbook.com. So you'll go there and you'll search, North American repeaters and then find your specific location. And then from there, you want the uplink and downlink frequencies. Now let me explain what those do. On the radio, it's going to be asking for a receive and transmit frequency. Now uplink and downlink, you can get a little bit confused which one's which, receive or transmit, because that's going to depend if you're talking about a repeater or a radio, which one's going to be which. So uplink and downlink completely simplify that. The way I like to think about it is repeaters are always up high. They're on a tower. You generally have a tower with a repeater, so that's going to be up high. And then radios are typically on a person down on the ground. So radios are usually lower than repeaters. So if it's uplink, that means it's going from the radio to the repeater. And if it's downlink, it's going from the repeater down to the radio. So from the radio's perspective, uplink is going to be transmit and downlink is going to be receive. And if you remember that analogy, you'll always be able to figure out which one's which. Awesome. So we have our information for the frequencies. So the first thing we're going to do on the radio is go into menu. Now you can adjust like your backlight times and everything. It's a good idea to do that. That way you can stay looking at it without having it time out on you. So we're going to scroll down here to settings in the menu. Once you're there, we're going to go to, first I'm going to do radio set and just change my display. Yeah, the backlight time. Oops. That way it doesn't time out on us here. So we'll just change that to always. And then I think we can change the menu exit time as well. Extend that. That way it'll be easier to work with this. It's not going to time out on us. Perfect. Now at this point you can go back in the menu. We'll go down to settings. And you're going to go to channel set. Now at this point you can add your DMR ID in here. So let's go find where we would add that. So we're going to scroll down. There we go, name. So we'll click on that. Oops. It looks like we're in the VFO channel. We'll have to get out of VFO. So I'm going to go back out to the menu here and press P2. If it's a default configured radio, you should be able to press P2, get out of VFO. We'll go back in the menu, settings, channel set, and we'll scroll down here until we find that name option again. There we go. Oops. Channel 1, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. I think there's another option here. Oops. So we'll do that here in a second. So first what we're going to do is change, this is set up as a analog channel right now. So if we click on channel type, you can see either analog or digital. Now if it's analog, which in this case we're not using the analog repeater, but if it is, you'll be able to set your tones. So these here, all these three options are for your tones. Some repeaters have a receive tone, some have a transmit tone, and some have both. And sometimes they're different and sometimes they're the same. So this is your transmit and that's your receive tone. So you can see the R and the T. And then this down here changes them both at once. So if you click on that, you can turn it on, then you can set your tone, right? So today we're going to be using a digital channel, so we can forget about that. Change it over to digital, and we'll have some different options here. So the receive and transmit frequency. So first off, with the receive frequency, we'll set that. So just click delete. And at this point, let's check out our frequency. So receive is going to be downlink, so that is 444-4625. Awesome, there we go. And transmit. So we'll delete that out of here. And that is 449-4625, our uplink. 449-4625. And you can hit the pound key down here. Just hit that pound key and it will actually complete that for you, like that. There we go, confirm. We can back out. Awesome. So we've got that set. Now we should be able to, there we go, radio ID. It's not going to give you that option in analog mode like we were earlier. So we can take this here and enter our ID. So if we go into My Radio, you can then click Option and edit the name. So we'll edit the ID first. So my ID is 3152688. So we'll do delete and 3152688 and confirm. We'll go down to edit name, delete this out of here, give it a name real quick. There we go. And I usually just do the first name and call sign. There we go. Awesome, just like that. You can click confirm. And at this point you can save. And that should already be selected because it's the standard one, but just go ahead and select it as well. There we go. Awesome, and you can add multiple IDs in here and then select the one you want to use. So if you're using this with multiple people, you can have multiple people's IDs in here if two people are going to be using the radio at different times. Awesome, so we can back out here. Now let's keep going down, color code and time slot. Now this will depend on potentially on what you're setting this up for. So the color code, I know the color code for this repeater is going to be color code 4, so I'm going to select that. Now the time slot is going to be time slot 1 for most of the talk groups. So we're going to select time slot 1. Now repeater book may have some specifics on what talk groups that's for, but unfortunately that wasn't able to pull up today. There we go. And at this point, we're pretty much set. There's a few other things you want to check. One of those being DMR mode. It's at the very bottom. Make sure DMR mode is set to repeater. If it's set to simplex, you will run into trouble. Awesome, so we are all set here. Now, we could start using it like this, but we actually want to save this to our radio because otherwise you may as well just use your VFO mode. So if we actually do click new channel, now it's a little bit backwards. When I first started this, I thought, oh, new channel, then I'll enter my information. You do it the other way around. So we just entered everything. Now we're going to do a new channel. And this is the channel number that it's going to store in the list. Doesn't mean much. Just click confirm. You don't need to change that. And then at this point, we're going to give it a name. This is what's going to be displayed in your zone. Awesome. There we go. So let's change this. What do we want to name this? Let's set this up for the parrot. We'll add in the parrot talk group here in a second. Oops. There we go, click confirm. And you will have to add it to a zone. So in this case, we're just going to add it to zone 1, the standard zone. Now you can create more zones. You do have to add your channel to a zone. You have to have at least some channels to create a zone, so which you should have off the bat. So there we go, select, and then talk group. We will have to select the talk group for this, it looks like, but we can change that here. So we're going to select that for now. Talk group list, okay. There we go. Saving channel. Awesome, so we should be set here. Now if we want to create our talk group, now see at this point we're not going to see the name because we still have our radio set to show frequency. So we'll fix that real quick. Go in the menu and we're going to go down to settings, radio set, display function, and we'll go down here and change, let me see what it's called. I know I wrote it down. It's going to be called, yeah, change the CH dot name, so the channel name for frequency to channel. Oops. Yep, so this right here, number 3. So we'll change that to channel, just like that. Now when we look at our home screen, we're actually going to see our name, so channel 1. So, oops, looks like our name didn't go through all the way there. Interesting, unless we need to change the, there it is. So to rotate the channel, there we go, channel 1, or parrot in zone 1. There we go, so, but we don't have a talk group assigned to it yet. So let's go create our talk group. So click on menu, and then click talk group. Now, if this is an analog repeater, keep in mind the process is a little bit easier. It's going to be easier to do this if it's just a simple analog repeater. You input your frequencies, you're good to go. Same thing if you already have all the talk groups and you just travel to a different state and want to set one up, bam, bam, put your frequencies in, pick your talk group, and you're up and running. It will take a little bit longer if you're inputting the talk group too, but it's not too difficult. So that's what we're showing you here. So here we go. Here's our talk group list. Now this is a brand new radio. I just reset it, so we don't have really anything in there. So we're going to do a new contact. So we want to input the ID. Now here is where a lot of people go wrong with this. So it's going to automatically do a private ID. Now this is great, and it'll work for the parrot, but if you wanted to input a different talk group, like a statewide talk group, for example, that's not going to work. So you want to hit the pound key, and that will change that to talk group ID. So make sure you remember to hit that pound key based on what you want. Now we're okay with a private ID today, but if we want to input pretty much any other talk group, you're going to want to change that to a talk group ID. So the parrot is 9990. Click confirm, and then we'll give it a name. So we'll, the same thing here, parrot. There we go, confirm, and then we should be set. So you can just, at this point, we should be able to hit save. So just go ahead and save, saving contact. And now we are good to go. So we're on our screen here. Now at this point, all you got to do is go into talk group and talk group list and find our talk group here, parrot, select that, and then go down to select contact. And we should be set. So if I key this up now, we probably won't be able to reach it because the repeater is a little ways away. But if I was to key this up, you can see parrot 9990, testing, this is W3AMG, can I hit the parrot? We can see it shows up there as a private call going to the parrot. So it totally worked. Now, it may or may not get anything back because we have trouble hitting that from in the studio. Let's see here. Nope, doesn't look like it. But there we go. So it's all set up. It's really pretty simple. Now, if you want to add more, you basically just do the same thing. You can add your channel and then create your talk group. So once we have one, probably what you'd want to do is create a bunch of talk groups and then go in and create a bunch of channels. And just keep in mind, once you create your channel, just remember to go select it and then go into the talk group menu and select the talk group for it. That way you're actually talking to the proper talk group. Now if we have more than one, keep in mind that for a digital repeater, we won't want to add a disconnect talk group. That allows us to disconnect from whenever we talk to and connect to something else. That's going to be talk group number 4000. Awesome, there we go. Let me try it over here. No guarantees we'll be able to hit the parrot, but I'll try it a little closer to the window. This is Cody W3AMG testing out the parrot. This is Cody W3AMG testing out the parrot. There we go. How cool is that? So it is up and operational. We're all good there. That's the local repeater. How cool is that? It worked. Awesome. So let's take any questions we have. And keep in mind, folks, if you guys have any questions about anything like this, are interested in learning more, give us a phone call, 816-532-8451, and we would love to help you with it. Again, 816-532-8451. We'd love to help you get set up, with DMR. If you need help getting the DMR ID, we can help you with that. Anything you need help with. Awesome. Here we go. Here's a question. And keep in mind, we will be drawing the winners shortly. So If you're not signed up, make sure you do that now. They're going to be selecting the winner very soon for both the giveaway that we're giving away a 1-year subscription to BridgeCom Plus, and then also a brand new AnyTone 878 UV2 Plus to our BridgeCom Plus members. One lucky winner for each. Awesome. Here's a question here from Mark. Can the 878 do crossband, i.e. Transmit on UHF and receive on VHF? That is a great question. Let me think. It's been a while since I played around with that. So you can have, that is a good question. I believe you can certainly monitor both. I'm just trying to think if you can do that. It's been a while since I played around with that. Definitely, one of our techs could let you know in the chat. I'm sure they would have the answer for that. I don't know that off the top of my head. I know you can do dual receive or dual watch, I believe it's called, and so you can listen for both. But I don't believe you can actually do a proper like crossband operation like that. But we'll let you know in the chat. Awesome. Any more questions? Here we go. Jim is asking how to access the Discord server. So if you are part of BridgeCom Plus, you'll actually get access to an exclusive Discord server with all the BridgeCom Plus members. A lot of helpful information on there, so you can reach out, and if you need help at any time, there's a lot of helpful people on there, promoting the success they're having in the hobby with their DMR. But how to access it, if you're signed up for BridgeCom Plus, we actually send you an email with all the information you need to access that. So if you didn't receive that email, definitely let us know and we will send that to you. And if you're having trouble from there, definitely give us a call and we'll get you helped out there. Awesome. Jason asks, how often is the CPS updated? Great question. So the programming software, which we actually didn't use today, but in a lot of videos we use it, it's updated from time to time. From my experience, probably every 3-4 months. But it's always kept up to date. It more depends on if they find anything wrong with it. If there's a big bug, they'll get an update released pretty fast. If there's nothing wrong with it, usually it doesn't have an update for a while. So that varies greatly. But if your radio is working fine, I'd probably just leave it. But if you've got a problem, or if there's some new feature comes out, definitely upgrade. Let's see. Ray asks, what are the differences on the DMR mode in the CPS under the channel options? It has options for DMO/simplex repeater, DCDM/double slot, and DCDM/TS split. That's a great question, Ray. So I have only ever messed with the DMR mode and the simplex mode. So definitely we can get back with you on that. Definitely maybe someone in the chat has the answers to that. They've tried those others out. And if not, definitely give us a call. One of our techs, I'm sure, knows all about that, and we'll get you that answer. But I've only ever played around with the DMR mode and the simplex operation. But fantastic question. Awesome. Let's see what else we have. Let's see. I Build Sheds asks, how do I add a tone again? Yeah, absolutely. So if you're using an analog operation, so we can have a look here real quick. So we'll go just over to channel 1. So if we go to menu, and go down to settings, channel set, and channel type, so we'll change that to analog. There we go. And then right here, right below channel type, you're going to have different tone options. So these are your different tone options. Excuse me, this is for transmit, that's for receive, and then this is for both. So if you have, let's say, just a transmit tone, you'd set it here. You can turn on CTC and then select your tone. Or maybe you have just a receive, you could do that here. Or maybe those are different, so you set them both. Now, if both are the same, which oftentimes is the case, you'll just come down here, turn this on, and let's say you want to, 136.5, select that, and now you've set both of your tones. just like that. So if I went back in here, you would see it's turned on and set to 136.5. So there you have it. Hopefully that helps. Awesome, more questions here. Sam, WS4BSA. He's in here a lot. That's awesome. In the CPS, what is BusyLock/TX permit? How should it be configured for digital and analog? Yeah, so the BusyLock/TX permit. Let me see here. Let me pull up the CPS so I'm 100% sure what you're talking about. One second here, we'll get that CPS pulled up. I believe I know what you're referring to, but just want to double check. I know there's a TX prohibit, which I don't think that's what this is, but TX prohibit, what it will do is make it so you can't transmit. Let me pull this up here in the CPS. Okay, I think I know what this is. I think I'm familiar with this. I've never used this personally, so from my understanding, what that will do is basically allow you to not transmit if it's busy, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So definitely in the chat, if you folks know about that and have used that before, help Sam out, let him know. One of our techs would definitely know. So if you really want to know, give us a call, 816-532-8451. We'll get you the answer to that. But let me pull this up here. I'm assuming there's TX prohibit, TX. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that setting before. I believe that's what it does, but I am not 100%. So definitely help Sam out in the chat. Let's get him the answer to that. Phil asks, is it possible to set local TG talk groups between 3 radios without using a repeater? So I believe what you're asking is if you want to have just a talk group for 3 different radios with no repeater. So absolutely. We actually just did this in, well, that's a good point. You need some kind of way, if you're going to use a talk group on the server, you'll either need a SkyBridge, like a Hotspot, or a repeater system to actually get on that server. Now you can have 3 different radios talk on DMR simplex with no server, but if you want to actually have a talk group, you will need access to the server. So whether that's through a Hotspot or through a repeater, either way will work. You will need one of them. But good question, Phil. Okay, Drew asks, I have CPS 1.26. Is that the current version? And if you have to update the CPS, how do you do it? Good question. Yeah, so in the university, Bridge County University, we actually show you how to update the CPS. There's a video in there that walks you through that. So if you have questions about it, definitely check that video out. If you're not having any trouble with it, I usually recommend just staying with what you have. That tends to be what I do. Unless there's a new feature you want. I know a while back they rolled out the new menu system, which makes it a lot easier to use the menu on the radio. So like something like that is totally worth upgrading to. But if you're happy with it right now, I wouldn't bother with it. Let me see. I believe that is the latest for, that must be for an 878, not the UVII model. But definitely you can check the support page for new releases. There's always, if they publish one and we approve it, we'll put it up there. Awesome. David asks, for the mobile version of these radios, can you add memory presets from the front panel on the fly while on the road? I don't always have my laptop and CPS with me. Correct. Absolutely, you can. So the mobile is going to work just like this. You can add, add your channels on the fly. In fact, that is typically how I roll. Oftentimes, I have a lot of my, Brandmeister and everything programmed in my radio. But if I'm out somewhere, usually I'm on the fly and, hey, let's see if there's a repeater in this town. Or, hey, I want to tune into this frequency. I'll punch it in on the fly. I do that more often than not. So the fact that these radios make it so easy to do that, that is a huge plus for me. Awesome. We have any more questions here? Here we go. Let's see, here's a question, 878. When we send info through, oh, got a couple. When we send info through APRS by intervals, it only works on the main channel. When pushed as sub-channel, it doesn't work in that way. When we want to use regular channel at the same time. Okay, let me understand this here real quick. Okay, I need to make main channel as APRS and sub-channel for repeater. Is this kind of a workaround? Is there a way to push APRS channel as sub and make it work? Yeah, so hopefully I'm understanding what you're trying to accomplish here. I have not messed around with APRS a lot personally. I know some of the other guys in the shop have. I know enough about it to make it work, but that's about it. So I would not personally have the answer to your question, but definitely give us a call. One of our techs will be able to help you out. 816-532-8451. We can help you with that. Or in the chat, I'm sure one of these folks has messed around with APRS a lot more than I have and probably have the answer to that. But thank you for your question. Okay, let's see, here's a question. How would a person that wanted to reset their radio completely after a firmware update erase all settings to start new? That's a great question. So if a person wanted to reset their radio completely after a firmware update and erase all settings to start new. So that's real simple. I'll show you here. This radio, we can go ahead and just factory reset it. So what you'll do is you'll turn your radio off, and then these two buttons on the side, the PTT button right here and the button directly below it, you're going to hold those two buttons down and now turn on the radio. Keep holding them though. Just like that. And you can let go now. You're going to get the screen. Are you sure you want to initialize your radio? Just click confirm. And at that point, it's going to initialize. When it powers back up, it will be like a brand new radio. Philip says, my old radio can't hold contacts, memory not enough, are the, okay, I'll try to read this differently. His old radio can't hold enough contacts. He's asking if there's any way to get more memory for older radios. So unfortunately, the older radios, there's no more memory in them. There's no way to add to that, unfortunately. So a couple different options. You can either just not import the entire contact list. Your radio will still work. You just won't have all that data for everyone. You won't see their call sign when you talk to them. Or you can upgrade to something newer like this radio right here, 500,000 digital contact list capacity. So that means you're going to be set for a while because they just crossed over 200,000 and that took a lot of years to reach that. So you're going to be set for a while with 500,000. Awesome. Any more questions here? I think we'll be doing the giveaways really soon. Do we have the giveaways ready? Okay, awesome. The giveaway winners are ready. So we're giving away 1 free year of BridgeCom Plus to 1 lucky winner. And then after that, we're going to do an exclusive giveaway for BridgeCom Plus members to give away a brand new AnyTone 878 UV2 Plus. So let's see who gets to win 1 year of BridgeCom Plus for free.
All right, and the winner is going to be Lisa WO0L. If you're here, let us know in the chat.
Awesome. Lisa, are you in the chat? Awesome. We'll give it a little bit of time here. Yeah, Lisa, WO0L. If you're here, let us know. We'll give it a little bit more time here. In the meantime, remember folks, oh, let's see, is Lisa here? Lisa is in the house. Congratulations, Lisa. You have just won yourself a 1-year free subscription to BridgeCom Plus. You're going to get access to exclusive giveaways, exclusive sales before anyone else, and sales that anyone else can't actually access. And you're going to be part of a community that can help you with your radio, fast-growing DMR community. You'll have access to that exclusive Discord server for BridgeCom Plus members. And to top it off, you're also going to get access to the entire BridgeCom University library of all the different courses for all of the different products and learn so much more about ham radio. So congratulations to you. You have just won yourself an awesome experience for a year and so much more. So let's find out who's the winner for the BridgeCom Plus exclusive giveaway.
The winner for the Plus exclusive giveaway is Dick Burgess, W6VS. If you're here, let us know.
Okay, Dick, well, we'll find out the call sign here. I didn't catch it. Let's see. W6VS. Dick, are you in the house? We'll find out here real quick. If you are here, let us know. Awesome, perfect. Dick is in the house. W6VS, congratulations to you. You have just won yourself a brand new AnyTone 878 UV2 Plus radio. That is awesome. So we'll reach out to you, get your information, and get one of these shipped out. So that's awesome. Congratulations to you and everyone else who attended. And thank you all for attending. This wouldn't be possible without you folks. Hopefully we're helping people. If there's anything you want to be covered, let us know. We'd love to cover more topics, more things that will help more people get involved with the hobby. We try to keep these kind of broad, cover some topics that are going to help a lot of people, because that's my goal here. But once in a while we'll do a more specific deep dive on something, so I'm open to hearing all your ideas. So awesome. Thank you very much for attending. That's all we have for today's stream. Definitely check out BridgeCom Plus. It's a great value for your money. It doesn't cost much to get into, and you're going to get hundreds of dollars worth of value out of it. So that's all I have for today. I'm Cody, W3AMG 73.